Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the Long Coat Mafia Podcast. It is I, the front man and main host of the show, the Reverend Godfather, and today I am here doing a solo show with a can of Mountain Dew Code Red. I do got a few more in the case, and the reason why I'm doing a solo show today is because if you heard last week's episode, we kind of were rushed out. This is not against the daily grind, just that we're kind of currently limited to about a 2-hour block. I have to email them and see if I could, in exchange for them kind of sponsoring the show a little bit, get more time instead of money from the daily grind. But that's in due time. But we still didn't have, me and Big Candy didn't get a chance to complete or cover everything. That's what this is going to be, trying to cover those remaining topics, plus a few others that came up within the past 2 weeks or so, whenever we recorded. I think we might have, just in case, we kind of rushed through Josh McDermott, who plays Eugene on The Walking Dead. He kind of quit his social media because a lot of people, I think I heard other people doing the same in regards to a lot of fallback from, either the characters dying or not doing, them switching sides, especially on like CW and stuff like that. I'm not sure what shows. I couldn't find the articles. But, folks, as we said before, we'll say it again, as many other people have stated before, this is just television, folks. It happens, kind of like in wrestling, which, I want to get with, a fan of the show. He knows a lot about, the wrestling. I want to get him on to talk about wrestling. He's worked behind the scenes before in wrestling. And he really knows his stuff about wrestling. I'm not talking about Big Kenny, even though he looks like a grizzled version of Daniel Bryant, but still, that's another story. We're going to try to get him on the show and get him talking about wrestling and how wrestling has evolved over the years. But getting back to Josh McDermott and The Walking Dead, been hearing a lot of stuff that the show's been extended pretty much indefinitely. I don't, even though it might have, but I don't see that actually happening, that it's going to extend for, in essence, a different ordeal. They might do something similar to what they're doing with the Fear of the Walking Dead. If they do continue it on, it might be with another group somewhere else, along with a similar time frame or after the fact. But I don't see it continuing on and on and on and on. But as there are a lot of theories out there in reference to how it's going to end, if it does end, and so forth and so on. As I also wanted to talk about with Big Candy, we had a almost go down over the past month or so. The deadline would have been the start of June, which would have meant the fact that we would have had a writer's strike. And the writer's strike, for a lot of you who kind of witnessed it earlier, I want to say in the mid-90s, in the early part of mid to late 90s to the early part of this new century, when it happened, we got a whole shit ton of reality TV shows, because you don't really need writers to put these shows on. And to kind of explain to you why the writer's strike would have happened if it wasn't successfully resolved, is that writers, like actors and actresses, either voice actors and actresses, get a share of what's being put out there. Meaning, like actors and actresses, when a TV show or movie is aired on TV, part of the reruns, let me put it like this. Take The Walking Dead or Supernatural or NCIS or whatever you watch on a weekly basis. if it gets re-aired on a different network, that network has paid the original network. Like a best example would be NCIS. They are on USA. They're on Ion. They're on a whole mess of other independent stations and cable stations. What those cable stations and independent stations do is they pay CBS a fee. It could be it's going to be a couple of $1,000s, or it's going to be like a couple of $1 million for that season. And that money, a chunk of that money goes to the major lead actors and actresses, and a smaller chunk of that money goes towards the supporting cast, and even a smaller amount goes towards the writers and the directors of the show and the producers, while the remaining chunk goes towards CBS for its personal profit. The best example would be Quentin Tarantino. Before he became a major director, writer, and producer, his starting performance was a Elvis impersonator on the classic show Golden Girls. And every time his brief 20-second little appearance goes on screen, he gets, nowadays it might be 20-30 cents. But back in the day, when it first aired, he could have gotten a couple $100, maybe $500-$600, a check for $500 in the mail. So every time it aired, he'd get a couple $100 in the mail. And he said many times on many different programs that it helped him buy food, it helped him get to the next audition, and it helped him survive. But nowadays, he says, they give him, if it airs, it gets maybe about 20-30 cents. And that happens to a lot of people. I've seen it, not check firsthand, but someone we've interviewed on the show, Daniel Beer, nice guy, wonderful gentleman. He shared on his Instagram a check that he has gotten from the movie Creepshow 2 once it aired once. It was like for a couple of cents. It was like 15-20 cents. But that's the point of having the Screen Actors Guild or the Writers Guild, is so they get a chunk. But the reason why they wanted more money is because nowadays we have the whole aspect of digital media, and with digital media, they don't have the rerunning capabilities. It goes straight to Hulu, goes straight to Netflix, or video on demand. So a lot of times, the writers, the actors, and so forth and so on, they don't see that extra money. And it's not, the programs that they are on are not rerun as much, and they still have to pay their medical bills, medical insurance, their car insurance, feed their kids, and if their significant others, I'll put it like that, don't have a job, or they have to be at home for whatever reason, they're able to at least provide some sort of care for them. So that's that. Let's see here. One of the things you heard us briefly touch on is the WWE Broken Matt Hardy gimmick. I'm not knocking Broken Matt Hardy or the Hardy brothers. I just thought when me and Big Candy get together, I want to, because he's the show's current resident wrestling expert, before I get one of our fans on to talk about it a little bit more. He's currently our resident expert in reference to wrestling and WWE. I kind of value his opinion about wrestling. He watches a little bit more than I do. So we'll go into discussion about Matt Hardy and so forth and so on later on, because even now there's a lot of stuff dropping in reference to the who's, the what's, and the where's, and it's all probably dependent on how their contracts are worded from TNA's Impact Wrestling, while it's now their third, so it's probably Impact Wrestling. It all depends on everything else. It's a lot of stuff. Plus, other wrestling news has happened. in the interim, I want to bank all that and speak to Big Candy about it and get his opinion about everything. See what he has to say. And one of the things that has come up since our last recording and posting of our Hostful, the person who has played Martha from Superman and Batman vs. Superman, basically Superman's Martha, she came out saying in reference to that she thinks that it won't be better than Avengers, but she, in a follow-up article a day or so later, she kind of backpedaled. My guess, if I'm going to put on a tinfoil hat theory, is that the folks at Warner Brothers who control all the DC movie stuff had told her, you better, change your tune or else. That's what I think, because you don't want to start bashing the movie now in regards to something that's coming out. You want to keep saying that, we're going to be better than our competition. Meanwhile, speaking of their competition, Marvel's latest movie, as of this recording, from what I heard, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is currently number 2 at the box office, because I'm recording it about 9:30 at night right now. From what I heard, again, the Aliens versus the new Aliens movie, Alien Covenant, which I'll get to in a moment, has hit $36 million over the course of the weekend, and I think it's pre-release, while in week 3, Guardians of the Galaxy 2 has hit $35 million, which is, theatrically speaking, is relatively close. It's Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Volume 2 has reached about close to $300 million domestically. It's still going over 500. It's still over $500 million worldwide, which good chance that means that it has at least made back its budget. We'll have to see in reference to its earning its advertising money back, because for a lot of you out there who don't realize it, that when you hear a movie such as Guardians or Aliens, that they make $100 million in the box office or higher, you think, if the movie costs $100 million, it made its money back. We've said this time and time again. When you hear that, you have to immediately have it, because half that amount, because what happens is when you buy a ticket at the theater, half that, depending on the theater, roughly half that amount goes to the theater and the other half goes to the studio who produced that film, whether it's Fox, Warner Brothers, Disney, whomever. That's why a lot of people tell you the theaters make more money on concessions, because they don't have to fork over 40, 50, 60% to the filming companies, the studios. But so the baseline is half, always half. And so, not to mention a film such as Aliens or Guardians of the Galaxy, they might have an extra $100 million to $200 million in advertising. And so therefore, that's why you might hear that Superman versus or Batman versus Superman or a Guardians of the Galaxy or Aliens do not make a profit, because they have to factor in that advertising budget, which could on some movies be as low as $10 to $15 million, even $20 million, to up to $150, $200 million. So, who knows? Let's see. Let's continue on and see what's going on here. What else do we have to cover? Let's see here. Let's see. Also, this past week, apparently it was 12 years that we heard about Leroy Jenkins. If you're not old enough to remember that, well, sorry. Let's see. I almost forgot about that. And a lot of people have, let's see, hopefully it loads up faster. I want to talk about the Power Rangers sequel, in reference to their new movie. Yes, that's right. The fact that there might be no sequel to the new Power Rangers movie because it hasn't really made enough money, at least in theaters, to warrant it having a sequel. But I guess it's going to depend on how the DVD sales and Blu-ray sales happen and digital sales. So we'll see about that. And also, a lot of the networks have posted up their renewals and cancellations for the fall season. Normally we save that for a September hostful, but I might save that for our next hostful to go into what me and Big Candy and hopefully, fingers crossed, Zombie Bunny will be back from her learning experiences through Bigfoot and Moon, and her legend shall continue. She doesn't show. She's always welcome back on the show, folks. So if you're listening, Zombie Bunny, you're always welcome back on the show. Just, you know where and when to find us. Just let us know. But I could talk about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Flash and all that with Big Candy, and especially the Supernatural. I don't think he's caught up yet, but at least we could go into some news that might be happening next season. I want to get his opinion on that, and what's been happening in regards to Supernatural and what has been happening with Supernatural. But as I said, to speak about Alien Covenant, no, I have not seen Alien Covenant yet because I've been hearing a lot of negativity about it. Not that, not in the way of Ghostbusters negativity, but negativity that the person behind it has changed up the whole lore of it since Prometheus. Folks, you have to understand that over the past, since the original Alien movie came out, you have a whole mess of lore, both official and unofficial lore in regards to the Alien saga. And I'll pause this for a second. Yeah, from what I've been hearing, Ridley Scott has changed the lore so much, again, that a lot of fans have been complaining about it, and that a lot of that Ridley Scott changed a lot, and that worries me a little bit. And some of the people that I've spoken to who have seen it didn't spoil the plot or the story, that Danny McBride was not funny, or they didn't give him enough funny lines, and a lot of other actors that were in it and actresses that were in it, they either didn't have any lines or barely had any screen time as it is. And to me, that worries me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait until it comes out on video on demand and rent it. That way I'm not out between $5 and $15 or everything else. But I do want to see, speaking of movies, I do want to see Dark Tower, because that trailer has dropped, and oh my god, I have stated many times before that I am a big Stephen King fan. I am a Dark Tower fan. Like some people are Lord of the Rings fan. I am a Dark Tower fan. I'm a Stephen King fan. I was very worried about Idris Elba being Roland. My worries have been, I won't say squashed, but I am more intrigued with the trailer in reference to how he's playing Roland, and Matthew McConaughey playing the Man in Black, aka Walter. So I want to see this movie. I want to see how it plays out. There have been reports that this, in essence, is not just a book to movie, but it is in essence a sequel to the series, because some people are saying that he had what happens at the end of the books. I am not going to spoil that. Please, you could find loads of places that sell Stephen King's Dark Tower series out there. It's 7 books, 8 if you want to include Wind Through the Keyhole, but I do recommend, since Wind Through the Keyhole is only a couple of, like, it in essence is a story within a story within a story, to kind of avoid that and just read the main 7 books, which could take you a while. I've spoken to people who have found, including myself, Dark Tower book series to be easier than Lord of the Rings, and I've spoken to people that they found Lord of the Rings an easier read than Dark Tower series. I do recommend either going through Uncle Tony or various cheap outlets like the used bookstore. That way you're not spending too much on a brand new book. So, but if you do want to spend a brand new book and support Stephen King and various other people who put that book together, please do so. I do recommend it. But if you are like myself with limited funds, get a used book from a library, or support your local library. As much as I've had disagreements with my library here at where the show is located at, I do recommend you supporting your local library, and either if you could find the Stephen King book or your favorite author at your local library through their book sales or so forth and so on, please pick up the book and give it a read, and you're supporting your local library. So, and I'll say it like that. And like I said, Eric Elba, I just butchered his name. Idris Elba. I mean, he came off a little bit like Rowan. I want to see more. I am so enthused about this. I want to see more. I want to see how it falls. I have been rereading the Dark Tower series to see, to refresh my memory about it, about the storyline. Let's see what else. Also, as a trailer drop, the Netflix has dropped the trailer for The Defenders, which proved both interesting and funny. I won't say funny, haha, but in a way, you saw Marvel's humor and the Netflix humor in that. And what some people have brought up in regards to everything is how Daredevil in the Netflix series Defenders looks more like Iron Fist than Iron Fist does. So, I do want to see it. I do want to pick up. Let's see. Witcher. Speaking of Netflix, I'm not a fan of the games, but I know a lot of my friends are fans of the games. They love the books. They've read the books, and everything else as well. Netflix has picked up on Witcher series, and they're currently in development of getting it to you through their usual means. So we'll see about that. I might check out the series, and I might have a few, see if I could work a few people coming onto the show who might have read the books and are a fan, and see their opinion, get their opinion. As well as I've been hearing the fact that we will be getting a Dark Crystal prequel series on Netflix as well. And this is something that, even though I've heard confirmation from Netflix from this, I am very skeptical about it, because this is something I've been hearing for the past, not just 5 years. I've been hearing a kind of either a sequel or a prequel for the past 17 years. That's how long I've been hearing about some sort of sequel or prequel, going back and forth. I'll believe it when a trailer or a preview drops in regards to this. The same thing goes for Labyrinth. I've been hearing a reboot for that. So I'll believe it when I see it and hear it. I am not knocking Henson Productions at all, because they know how to do things. They know how to do the practical as well as a lot of the CGI. I do point to the classic. As much as a lot of you out there, including myself, want to rag on the Sci-Fi channel, however they wish to spell their channel name this time, they put out, or they had a show on earlier part of this century called Farscape. It was put out by Henson Productions, and they did a very good quality, mixing the digital CGI aspect of things with puppetry, or aka the practical effects. So it would be wonderful to see if the Dark Crystal prequel happens, to see how everything does turn out. And what else? Let's see. What else? Also, just to let you guys know who do get this far into our show, if you want to promote anything on our Facebook page or anything like this, let's see, before we get into that, we have more wrestling news, and I'll get into that with Big Candy. Let's see, there's that, and that's the prequel. Apparently, rumor has come out with more gameplay in regards to the South Park game, which is the Fractured But Whole. It's finally getting a October 17th release date, and that I put on our Facebook page. It's almost a year after they initially said it was going to come out December last year. I am more than grateful I did not put in for the pre-order December last year, because I was going to put it in for it at Press Start Games, and since then they've currently went out of business at our Martinsburg location, and I would have probably lost the $60 for the game. So that's good. It's coming out about 2 weeks, about 10 days after my birthday, so I'll probably get a bunch of birthday funds in, and I'll put in a pre-order for that, and I'll play it and give you guys a review. Let's see, what's that? Okay, Bungie released their gameplay footage for Destiny 2. I want to get into this a little for a few minutes. Even though I lost my pre-order receipt from GameStop, which would allowed me to get into the pre-order beta, where it's coming out wrong, but there's the only way I could have described it. The Destiny, or I think Bungie's putting out a beta or a demo of everything. It's like a testing that for the first, I guess, week or 2 weeks, they are allowing only those with a pre-order to experience Destiny 2, or at least a small section of the game like they did for the first Destiny. I lost the receipt. I don't know where it is. Therefore, I lost the code. Because I got busy, I didn't get a chance to put it in. I'll look for it, and if I can find it, I'll put in the code and I'll play it and I'll let you guys further know. But reports have come out that on the console, it's only going to be roughly 30 frames per second, while on the PC, because it is coming out finally for PC gamers to experience and play, it's going to probably be on a higher frame rate for PC gamers than it would be for console games. I know a lot of console gamers will probably whine, bitch, and complain about this. I probably will not really notice. A lot of times when I see, when I go into YouTube and witness, them playing a particular game that I've played on a console that might have been 30 frames per second, and they're playing it at a 60 or 70 frames, roughly 60 frames per second, I do not notice a difference. So for me, it doesn't really matter. I'll probably be playing with a bunch of friends I have on my Xbox One, so it's not going to matter much to me. You're not going to hear me whining, complaining, and bitching about it. In regards to frame rate, now depending on how the story is perceived, so far the story seems like it's top notch. There's a lot of aspects to the game that you can do. I'll probably under the show's actual gamer tag on our Xbox One, at least my Xbox One, I'll create a type of, because you're able to create a clan system or gaming clan system for Destiny 2, and from what I'm heard and been told, it's a better clan system. You're able to have more people on it, so I'll probably be able to welcome you guys into a clan system. If you don't have one, I'll probably be joining a clan myself. I'm not sure who, on my personal gamer tag. We'll see what happens there. And there's a lot of extras, and it's going to be more of from what I've heard, more of an open world, much better gameplay than the first one, better story than the first one, new abilities, new everything, lots of side quests, a lot of things for everybody to enjoy. Easier for those like myself who might, if I choose not to create a clan, I could easily weave myself into another clan, meaning if I want to be the lone wolf, so to speak, and there's a clan that needs an extra person or two to do a raid mission or a couple of side quests or a dungeon raid, you could easily be temporarily put with that clan. I want to see how they do their loot system in Destiny 2, because with the first one, you could get, what happened was with the loot system is that you could pick up something that would be classified, hey, this will be a very rare or an extremely rare item, and when you get it to the proper people to turn it in, basically for those who never played Destiny, there would be like an orb that drops, and the color of the orb would have normally translated to the color of the weapon or armor you would have gotten from that orb. The darker the color, the more rare the gun or the armor. And if it would drop a purple type of orb, you should have gotten a purple weapon or a extremely rare weapon or armor. But what would happen is, as soon as people would turn it in, including myself, you'd get something that pretty much everybody had, which pissed a lot of people off. That's why even Angry Joe himself said his review of the first Destiny is the most viewed and probably the most hated video in gaming, because he spoke the truth. And I agree, after playing the game myself, I agreed with him in regards to Destiny being somewhat of an average game, but it's not. It could have been a lot better. A lot of the first Destiny just kind of fell flat and sucked and was very repetitive. Hopefully, Destiny 2, from what I've seen of it, and from some of the reports I've seen, it looks like they've listened to a lot of the fans and a lot of the critics and made improvement. That's always a good thing. So, another review. And 2 for 1. Let's talk about Resident Evil. I finally spoke. I won't say spoke, but I saw the final Resident Evil on video on demand. I think I rented it. Yeah, I rented it on Vudu. And I want to say this. It's meh. I'm going to say it's maybe about a 5 out of 10. For a zombie flick, it's okay. It had zombies. It had people killing zombies. It had Mila Jovovich, who I have, who is one of my many, many crushes. Even though she's married and has two lovely children. I don't mean that in a weird, creepy way, but she does have a lot of. She has 2 kids, and she still looks fantastic. But it's Matt. She plays a good role in the final film, final movie. But it's Matt. The series has kind of went downhill a little bit over the past several films. Maybe the second or third one, it went down. I think the second one was pretty much the desert one, where they kind of ended up in Las Vegas for a little while. But since after the second one, it went downhill. After they left Raccoon City, they went downhill. But it might be one of the. I've heard people say it's one of the better video game to movie series because they were able to keep a storyline going forward for a good many years, and it has always seemingly done well at the box office. But I think this last one, I will say this: I'm not spoiling it without. I'm going to spoil the movie without spoiling the movie, meaning that they left it open. The way they kind of did the ending is that they left it open, so just in case, as always, for a sequel. But they left it open in regards to the way they did it was, well, if we cannot do a new movie, maybe we could do it as a television series. And that's some of the reports I've been hearing and saw about Resident Evil. But so I saw how they were able to do that and where they could go for it and how they can continue the Resident Evil kind of story. But I haven't heard anything else in regards to a television series or a Netflix show or anything of that kind of ilk. But I did hear that they might be rebooting the series in a way. And let's give a good look about that article and see what they have to say about to a reboot. So remember earlier this year when Resident Evil, this is from comicbook.com, let's see here, came to theaters and signified the end of the video game franchise movie run. Well, it turns out it wasn't exactly final after all. Variety is coming out that it might return to a reboot form as part of another 6-movie film. Let's see, details are not, being revealed yet, or won't lead on characters from previous films like Mila Jovovich's Alice. Let's see here. It's like, they're just going to go about. Hopes it'll be even more copies this year. They're banking on that since the games are always a big deal. That people will still want to go see the movie, or at least the reboots. Who knows? But for now, that's all I've been hearing, and there's a lot of other stuff. Let's see. Move away from what I wanted to cover. Let's see what's going on. I've been getting a couple of tones from good old Matt Burns in reference to, let's see. What other news is going on? I know, let's see here. What has Matt Burns posted up? Raffle Prize. He was helping, I think he's helping out, at, Leadersburg Cinemas for Wonder Woman Day. Announcing some raffle prizes this week. He's helping out for that. Let's see, what else? For State Con Reboot. Yes, don't forget, I'm going to put this out there for Matt. He is going to probably be with us on June 3rd. More than likely, he's going to be with us on June 3rd at the Martinsburg Library's Pop Culture Show. as much as you hear me whining, bitching, complaining about the local library in reference to our infamous old spot in their conference room, going the way of the dodo, and how they're treating the local public, we will still be at the library for that show to promote our show, and Matt will be with us to promote pretty much the retro 4-State Take 2 show, which will be happening September 9th and 10th at Hager's Hall in Hagerstown. He still has plenty of vendor spaces open, which we will have a vendor space at his September show. If you want to know, he has, I think he has several 7x7 foot vendor spaces. Right now, they are, according to Matt Burns, who is the promoter of the show. The 7x7 vendor spots includes a table, 2 chairs, and 2 passes for $85. Or 2 tables for $150. These amounts will go up past June 1st. So by the time you hear this, depending on when you hear this, the prices could go up. Okay. Here it is. Let's see. The 7x7 vendor spaces. $85, which includes 2 chairs, 2 passes. If you want 2 tables, it's $150. A 10x10 foot space is $150. If you want 2 tables, $275, includes 2 tables, 3 guess if you want 2 spots, it's $150. Either way, you check with Matt Burns. He's found on Facebook. Look for the 4-State Comic Con, the reboot, and message Matt. Send him a message through there to find out more. The 10x10 space is $150. That includes 2 tables, 3 passes, and 3 chairs. After June 1st, it's $100 for the 7x7 space, and $175 for the 10x10, and both includes the chairs and the passes and the tables. Let's see here. He says we also have a few end caps available. Don't miss out. Please message him about this. You can always go to 4statecon.com and message him that way and find out more. And I got Mountain Dew in my eye. That's not fun. Let's see, what else? That seems to be about it. That's about it. Oh, before I went on track about 4-State, if you have something to promote via our Facebook page, we do welcome you to do so, just under the recommendation that you contact us through our Facebook page and or email first. I don't mean to sound like an asshole. It's just that if you do, it gives us a chance to look things over and make sure things are on the up and up. And if anything, it allows us to at least, more than likely we'll say yes and okay and let you promote. Just that we'd rather be notified first, because there's been a few times where there have been spammers and scammers promoting stuff on our mascot page that we had to trim out and boot. I do not like to do that. Big Candy does not like to do that. So what happens is, I would rather have you ask us first before anything else. The reason why I'm bringing this, we had a nice gentleman, a real nice gentleman. Let's see if I can pull up his name so I get his name right. Speaking to Anthony Hayes earlier today from Podcast Discovery Center, who is a very nice guy. But the person who contacted us last night, I'll bring him up. I want to have him probably on the show. His name was Joe Spencer. That's right. Let's see. The thing, Facebook has to be an ass. What the? Jeez Louise. I click on his name and he goes away. Joe Spencer has a kind of a Kickstarter campaign out. He posted on one of our earlier posts, but he didn't realize it, and he apologized greatly. He was a nice guy, so I want to at least give him a shout out. I'm going to promote what he's doing, but he has a Kickstarter out trying to get a card game up and running. Until I find out more and he wants to be on the show to explain it. But the thing is, when I checked things out, the Kickstarter had the money system pounds, meaning £1 donation, a £15 donation, a £1,000 donation, which means he's out of London, and that's from where we record. That's a 5-hour time difference, and it's a matter of contacting him in regards to what time, just hammering out the details for him to be on the show. I would love to have him on the show. That's why I'm asking, I don't want to be an asshole or the show to come off as an asshole, because it gives us a chance at the show, you guys contacting us in reference to promoting something on our show page. I still got to get the group page set up and ready to go. That way it'll be easier for you guys to promote, and it will allow you to see your post, and then so forth and so on. It gives us a chance to make an offer for you to be a guest on our show, and that way we make sure that you're not trying to scam listeners, because scamming our listeners makes us look bad as well as you. We want to try to minimize that as much as possible. That being said, our Facebook page is always facebook.com/The Long Coat Mafia Podcast. And our email, if you want to contact us that way, has always been longcoatmafia@gmail.com. If you listen to any of our past episodes, we always mention that. So you could always contact us, tell us what you like, what you dislike, what you would like to hear. Our Twitter and Instagram handles are the same thing, which is Longcoat Mafia. We are found on iTunes by looking us up as Longcoat Mafia, or you could find us if you use a Apple mobile device. You can use your Apple podcast app to find us, or if you prefer Android over Apple, you could use Google Play Music to find us. But as always, you could use our main website, thelongcoatmafia.podbean.com, to listen to all our shows, from our very first beta shows up to our most current show, which will include this show. As well as we are now able to be streamed on Amazon's Alexa device. Therefore, you could say, Alexa, please stream the Long Coat Mafia podcast. And Alexa would download the Podbean app, sign you in, and start streaming our show. So, there's that. I'm still working on our YouTube channel to get it set up for you guys. So there might be a chance you could always listen to us through YouTube or watch our unboxing videos or so forth and so on. Speaking of which, streaming and all that, we probably won't be doing a live streaming on YouTube or YouNow or LiveMe, because the internet, my ISP, really sucks. The Amish have faster internet service than I do. The 90s keep calling me, wanting their internet back because it's so damn slow. And even though it is classified as high-speed internet, yes, I am looking at you, Frontier Internet. But there is a way for me to switch, but right now I cannot switch. But through Facebook, I have allowed Big Candy to stream every time if he gets the win and he gets a box of baseball cards and wishes to do a breaking on Facebook, he is able to do that. I might look into a Facebook video downloader so I'm able to at least download his videos and post them up to Facebook. I'll speak to him and see if he'll allow that. If he listens to this episode, he'll probably message me and let me know yay or nay. Let's see. That's Instagram, Twitter, email, Alexa, our Podbean site, our Facebook page, Twitter page, and that seems to be about it. As always, feel free to contact us. Not really much more to say. We will be recording our next hostful at the end of the month. We probably by then there's Pirates of the Caribbean. I almost forgot about that. Depending on what happens over the next week or two in regards to Pirates of the Caribbean and it being kind of held hostage by hackers, we'll see what happens. I might be able to do a review when it comes out on the 26th, I think it comes out, which is next week. And that Tuesday we'll be recording our next hostful. So, till then, you guys guys and gals, or whatever the case might be, take care, share our show, listen to our show, please engage with us, and we'll see you next time, who knows, and send us those ideas and emails, and we will read them on the air. You guys take care, I am out. Oh, I almost forgot, folks. I wanted to let you guys in on some very good news regarding our show, and that is Podbean has let us know that we will be their Podbean Show of the Week for the end of July, and that is July 30th forward. So it's like the first week of August, last few days of July, which is awesome. Which begs me for you guys right now, if you have a show idea, because we just got through letting you know how to contact us and send us messages and all that. If you have, I would like to put out a show of epic proportions that day, because not only by then we'll be starting our third year, we'll be past the 2-year mark and starting to go into our third year. I would love to do something epic for that week. So please let me know. That way we could probably get a show together. Who would you like to see on? Or would you like to see a guest come back? You want me to get talk to Lloyd again and do something epic with him? Do you want me to have Sasha, the Princess of Darkness, back on? Who would you like to see back on? Do you want me to see if I get somebody back on or somebody new? You hear me talking about Anthony Hayes and the Podcast Discovery Center? Would you like me to get Anthony Hayes on and have a crossover event of epic proportions coming on for the end of July? Who knows? Let us know. So, again, email us at longcoatmafia@gmail.com. Let us know. Or, if you do so, find us on Facebook at, again, facebook.com/The Longcoat Mafia Podcast. Like us, message us, and let us know. I'll probably get into talks myself with Anthony to see if we can a bankable crossover event. And that way, from that week forward, if we get a whole mess of ideas and a whole mess of special guests, we could do a whole couple of weeks full of special things that month. And who knows? Whether it be sometime in September, I might be in Otakon through their press pass. See how it's changed over the years. Therefore, would my viewpoint of Otakon change since then? Plus, in September, it will probably be International Podcast Day again. Plus, we'll be having the whole aspect of the RetroCon reboot, and plus a whole mess of other stuff happening in September. So, let's try to make August, that very last week or two in July, epic. Guys, help me out. I got a couple of stuff in here. If you help me out, whoever has the best idea, I'll see what I can scrounge out and send to you. I think I might have a signed book from Earl to send you guys, or a signed poster from Earl to send you guys. I'll find something to send you guys. If I have to spend a couple of bucks of my own to send you guys something special, I'll do it. I'll send you guys something special. So either way, take care. Email us. Send me your ideas. Talk to us. If we get enough email, we will, read it on air. I've said that before, so I'll say it now. I just did. So please, back me up. You are allowed to email us and talk to us online. So, again, take care, and peace out again.
See you next time on the Long Coat Mafia.